Hi everyone, welcome to 2024 Training Awards for Cancer Biologists informational webinar. Okay, in today's webinar, we will be going over what the Hope Leaders program is. We have a testimonial from our current Hope Leaders, Ms. Alexa Gajda. We will also be going over where you can find the application and doing a breakdown of how you can submit your application, how you can apply. We will be giving you an example of a successful application as well, just to help you a little bit. And towards the end, we will do a little Q&A session. During the webinar, feel free to put any questions in chat if you like, and we will answer those questions towards the end of the webinar itself.
So welcome to the University of Illinois Cancer Center. My name is Amina Abdullah. I'm one of the associate directors in our office. Our mission is to provide innovative care designed to eliminate cancer health inequities by elevating the voices of our diverse communities and stakeholders to in discovery, education, and the provision of care. And at the University of Illinois Cancer Center, our vision is to eliminate cancer health inequities and disparities and improve cancer outcomes for all. Thanks. So this is our department. We are the Office of Community Engagement and Health Equity. And I just wanted to make a note that recently the NIH has committed to investing in the development and expansion of very novel alternative methods in biomedical research. And so we at the University of Illinois Cancer Center also wanted to be involved in innovative ways. So we're here to support basic researchers and finding innovative ways to better serve our patient population. And so one of the ways we're doing it is through Hope Leaders. And so what is Hope Leaders? So Hope Leaders is a program managed by our office in the Cancer Center. It builds and strengthens bench research, laboratory, and community-based organization partnerships, and it teaches community members the power and potential of basic research. And it also teaches our researchers how to approach community and to share their cancer research results. And so the goal, oh, sorry.
Yeah, just to reiterate the goal a little bit more, it is to build authentic community academic partnerships that shifts the lab science focus for cancer health equity. We took this initiative in 2023. This was primarily to build a gap between the cancer biologist basic research and the community itself, and to present the research findings to the community and then get their feedback and then align the research to fulfill the community needs itself. Okay, so up on the screen, you see pictures of our current Hope leaders. Alexa Gajda, she's an Air Lab trainee and Equal Hope right there. On the right, the pictures are from some activities they carried out, including a lab tour, a lab meeting, a community meeting where they got to know each other. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our current Hope leader, Alexa Gajda, and to share her experience with you all working on Hope Leader so far. Alexa, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Alexa Gaida. I'm currently now a fifth year PhD student in Dr. Umar Ayer's lab. We're actually located in the Department of Physiology, and our lab's research primarily focuses on breast cancer metastasis, and how we can essentially improve the clearance of those cancer cells with the use of potassium channel agonists. Um, we ended up getting paired with Equal Hope about, I think, a year and a half, 2 years ago now. Um, and initially, we really weren't sure what we were getting ourselves into. But it turns out that being exposed to community members and just learning how to kind of narrow down our research and kind of somewhat simplify things um, has really changed the way that I want to spend, I guess, my future career. It's really, instead of just focusing on, okay, I'm only going to build my research off of whatever the literature says, Now I've actually gotten input from community members about different things that they're concerned about, sort of side effects about different kinds of treatments and things like that. And that's given me a really unique perspective on how we should be doing science, especially since we're working in the biomedical field, specifically with cancer. Um, so yeah, it's kind of moved me towards wanting to work more kind of through community-based research, um, just because honestly, it's really fulfilling. And I did not even like consider this as a path, but here we are, and it's been a really good experience for me. Um, yeah, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Alexa, for sharing your experience with us. Alexa has been a Hope Leader for 2 years now, and she will be she will be wrapping up with the Hope Leaders program this May, so they only have 2 quarters left. But it's been amazing having Alexa on the team as well as Equal Hope. And we're looking forward to it more. Thanks, Alexa, for being here. Okay, so who can apply? University of Illinois Cancer Center, cancer biology program members are eligible to apply for this cycle. PI cannot be a director level or above. And PIs with less than 2 years experiences in community engagement are highly encouraged to apply. We're encouraging them to apply because we are planning on adding PIs that don't have a lot of exposure to community as of now, but we want to give them exposure through this program. Also, one thing we decided to add this year that we did not have last year is we are now considering undergraduate trainees. So if you're a PI with an undergraduate trainee, feel free to apply for the Hope Leaders program. You will be considered. Okay, so the award is $30,000 over 2 years, with $20,000 in the first year and then $10,000 in the second year. The second year disbursement will be dependent on the first year progress. So you will be submitting quarterly reports, and based on those reports and the progress, we will disperse the second year award. Award funds must be used in a proposed project. So the project you're proposing in your application, the narrative you're writing, the project, the research project you're writing, in the application, you should be using the award funds only on that project. Okay, so these are some links on the screen. So our application is on our website, cancer.uillinois.edu. Community Health Equity Hope Leaders Program. I'm sure Tasha has put the links in the chat right now, so you should be able to access the application that way.
Thanks, Tasha. Okay, so now I'll just kind of give you an overview and go through some of the sections of the actual application. And so the application is actually all in REDCap. So you'll actually fill out all the sections of the application in REDCap. And so when you click on the link, this is what will initially pop up. And if you'd like to actually see the RFA, you can click on the link right there in that REDCap. You'll see it as an attachment. Okay. So the RFA, again, like I just mentioned, is embedded in the application. And so this is what will pop up as the actual RFA. So it'll go over all of the details, the goal, all of the different sections that you're responsible for, as well as how to submit it in the next steps. So again, just an overview of the application. The first section is going to ask for the PI and trainees information. The second section is a narrative of the proposed project and the key personnel. We'll ask for bio sketches for all the key personnel and PIs or a CV. And then the last section is section 3 is the budget. So section 1, the PI or trainee information, this is all the information that we'll ask. We'll ask for the name, their academic title, the department, the email, the phone number, and then is the PI a CV member? So that's extremely important. It should be a cancer biologist. This program is open to cancer biologists, so it will ask if the PI is a CV member. It'll then ask for the trainee's information. So the trainee's name, the department, their education level, email, and then it will also ask to highlight any additional members that are from underrepresented groups. So if there's any specific people that are of race or different, or their gender and their sexual orientation as well. Okay, the narrative. So this is nice and short. We will ask for the specific aims that your study will allow to gain a better understanding about the metabolic or transcriptional process of cancer initiation or growth. And the project, again, this is very important that the project should be completed within 18 months. So even though this is a 2-year program, the idea is that the research that you're conducting should be able to complete it within 18 months so that the results can be disseminated uh, within those 2 years. So those last 6 months of the program will be planning the dissemination of those results of your proposed project. And lastly, you need to describe how the improved community engagement skills will enrich the careers of the basic cancer researchers involved in this project. That's the whole goal of Hope Leaders. And just wanted to note too that when you're doing your narrative, you should build on your lab's established strengths. So don't think about creating something specifically for Hope Leaders. Again, we want to expand on the strengths that you already have, and the idea is to gain more experience or exposure to the community. So section 2, we will ask for the biosketcher CV for the trainee, as well as the principal investigator or co-investigator if there is one. Okay, and now the budget. So for the budget, you want to include any salary and wages or approved expenses, as well as any research supplies. You can do indirect costs, but you can only do up to 10%, no more than that. And then if there's any other costs that you need, please include that in the other category. And then this is something new, but you should also consider travel costs. And that is specifically for travel to and from any community events that you are doing with your Hope Leaders partner or any meetings that you're attending in the community or at your community partners organization. So please consider that when you're putting together your budget. And then just noting that when everything again is done in red cap, so item number 13 in the application is the budget justification. So there will be a link that leads you to both the instructions on the allowable and unallowable expenses and in the budget template. Sorry. So this is exactly what I'm referencing here, is that when you get down to line 9, number 13, it will ask you about the budget. So then you will click on that link there, which will then be a pop out, and that will allow you to enter all the information for your budget. And as you can see here also, this is just a screen grab from the actual RFA again. It will go into more details about the instructions and the allowable costs, as you see on the bottom right corner there. Section. Yep. So again, some of the allowable expenses are research supplies. If there's anything that you need from the shared resources department, include that. Anything that if you're going to include your staff or trainee salaries, you can have that as allowable expense. Any software, or if you need space rental, and that's really just for the events that are again with your Hope Leaders community partner. So if you're going to plan an event and you want to have some space, put some rental space in there, include that. And then, as I mentioned before, any travel to and from community events or community meetings, consider putting that in there as well. Now, the unallowable or unpermitted expenses are things like equipment, administrative fees, textbooks or periodicals or subscriptions are not allowable expenses. Membership dues are not allowed. Rental for anything is unpermitted except for if it was an event space or anything that was needed for events like AV. But other than that, no rental can be included in your budget. Recruiting or relocation is not permitted. So don't think that you can use this budget for that training that you want to recruit. That is not allowable. And construction or maintenance also is another unpermitted expense. And I'm sorry, Zoe, I just totally took over your section.
No, you're okay. That's fine. But I do want to mention, so budget justification is something we're requiring you to submit with the application, but you will not be scored on it. This is a requirement though. You have to submit for your application to be considered complete. So on your screen, this is just a screenshot of a two-page budget template that's attached to the RedCap link that we just showed you. You click on that link, it will take you to this document. This is simple. This is very simple as compared to other budget justifications and templates that have been used in the past. Just in the first table, it will just be a budget summary, including all the items you'll be using the award for. So we'll be asking you to list the amount for every item, and then further, we'll ask you to break down every item into details. So, for example, salary and wages, we'll ask you for a staff name, position title, monthly salary, the amount you requested or used, are you going to be using for that specific item, and then we'll ask you to justify the cost after every item table. So these are the funding priorities. Just to make it clear, these are priorities, not requirements. So for example, if there is a tie between two applications, we will be using this content, these bullet points to prioritize the application. So the projects that foster intra-programmatic collaboration will be prioritized. There's a tie. The projects that use UI Cancer Center shared resources or utilizing the shared resources offered by Cancer Center will be prioritized. And the projects that support trainings for Cook County or underrepresented populations. And the projects that address cancer center priority cancer, which is breast, prostate, colorectal, liver. These are the lung, and these are the five priority cancers that the cancer center itself deals with. So, any application including any of these five priority cancers will be prioritized as well. And then the projects that focus on Black and or Latino populations, underrepresented groups and populations will be prioritized. PIs with less than 2 years community engagement experience as well. Since the goal of this program is to give cancer biologists and the PIs the exposure to community that have not been working in the community a lot lately. So I think with less than 2 years experience, we will be prioritizing as well. The projects that also include long-term plans to publish and or seek funding with community stakeholders.
Okay, so the scaling system. So this scaling system will be from 1 to 5. So each of the sections will be measured on least impactful to most impactful from our reviewers. We'll also be, you'll also be reviewed on the relevance, equity, growth potential, and overall impact of your proposed research project. And then each section of the application notes how much weight each question has on your score. So you'll see all of that information in the RFA of how it's weighted. Sorry. And so again, when we're talking about relevance, we are considering the degree to which the project and team addresses the specific aims of the cancer biologist program, and the Cancer Center's priorities at large, including, as Zoya just mentioned, the intraprogrammatic collaboration and the use of Cancer Center resources. When it comes to equity potential, we are considering the degree to which this project and the team will provide science that advances our understanding of biological factors that contribute to cancer disparities. The growth potential we are considering the degree to which the pilot project likely is to be leads to the submission of an R01 grant. And that is, I'm sorry, and then it will also lead to critical skills and community engagement for the PI or the trainee. And then when it comes to the overall impact of the proposed project, we are considering the degree to which the pilot project will contribute to the community engaged cancer biology research.
Okay, this is just an example of a successful application. This was an application submitted by Dr. Ankur Saxena in 2023. He was one of the very first Hope leaders. And this was a really strong application. I mean, when reviewing, it had a clear narrative, a very clear overarching goal. The PI made sure to highlight the aims and clearly state the hypothesis as well. PI also had a really good idea of how the dissemination of the results of this project would benefit the community. So I think that was a really big bonus plus point in that. And also, it was also stated that it was really, when going over the application, it was emphasized how it was quite easy to even wrap up or share results of this research within 18 months. So again, strong application, a really good application to look at if you're submitting for Hope Leaders. Okay, any questions here? I'm not sure if we have any attendees here right now.
Yes, we do. Are there any questions? We'd like to open it up, and there's no questions off the table. You can also feel free to contact us at hopeleaders@uic.edu. If you have any other questions or if you'd like any technical assistance, we're happy to walk you through the grant application. As you heard earlier from Alexa, she's one of our trainees and one of our active Hope Leaders in Air Lab. She's also has extended herself too. If you'd like to chat with her or have any questions, she can let you know about the process, what it was like going through the application, what it was like, again, as she shared, being a current Hope Leader. And she can also let you know about how awesome the program is and how easy and attainable it is. Don't be intimidated by the application, what we just went through. I'm sure you all are used to applying for large grants. Ours is short and simple and sweet. And that was very intentional because we know about all the hard work that you all do. But other than, oh, there is one question. Let's see.
There is one question in the Q&A.
Oh, how is the research aligned with community groups and their needs? That's a great question. So we open it up to community members have a separate application that they go through. And so the idea again is that we try to find, and we've been just blessed enough. This is our third year of going through this. We've been very blessed to be able to align the community organization with the research that's most relevant in the lab. So a simple example is the one that Alexa just shared. So from Air Lab, their project was focused on metastases and metastatic breast cancer. So we aligned them with Equal Hope, who is focused on breast and cervical cancer. So that was a great fit. So that's what we try to do, is we try to be very intentional of who we align the community partner in the lab with. I hope that answers your question. See. Our page charges for publications, allowable expense. Yes, if it's relevant to your research and if it's necessary, you can have that as an allowable expense. Thank you. Great questions. Oh yeah, another question. Would a trainee from Winnebago County also get preference? And so the preference really comes in that meaning that if there's two applications that have the same scores, we would give we would give more weight to the one that is in Cook County. And mainly that's because that is our target demographic. So meaning that's where our research has shown as where the highest needs are and the largest disparities. So though that's why there's more weight given to that. But definitely, if you have a lab in Rockford or Winnebago County, it's still eligible for this application. So still apply. Hope that answers.
Hey, any more questions? We still have a lot of time left.
And like we said, really those priorities when she went through that list of if it's an underrepresented group, if you have trainees that are minorities or underrepresented groups, it just means really when it comes down to if there's applications that, because this has happened in the past where the applications have had the same score, we need to have some way of differentiating between where to give the priority. So that's what that's about. It does not mean that you're ineligible, that you will score less or that you'll score more if it's one of those priorities. It's really when it comes down to tied applications.
Perfect. I don't see any more questions in the chat, but if you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us at hopeleaders@uic.edu. And this is the end of our webinar. Thanks everyone for joining and for asking these questions. And we're looking forward to your applications for this program.
Yes, feel free to reach out to us.
So, yep. Bye, everyone.
Bye, thank you.